So let's see what bans do come out. Of course, Diana being taken away from Skara. No
Actually,
surprise
the
there.
Pixman's already underway, and the Jarvan being taken out, and that obviously will be targeted at Svenskeren,
really
who's
targeting
just done
Skara now. Already a fast and
then Misfortune targeted over towards
in.
Genja.
Another Mega Zero ban, another Mega Zero ban Renekton, and now Chaos. So everything from Marn targeted towards Skara.
Both teams, this is the fourth matchup. They knew exactly what to expect. They've played each other plenty of times. Dignitas will always pick one of those 3 champions if they are available. Diana can be played by either mid or top. Gragas always going to Skara, and then the Kayle also either mid or top. Marn's in the same situation where everybody feels like they're just going to ban the exact same stuff.
Well, you talked about it last time.
The same thing.
You talked about it last time. You know, Mega Zero's like, I've got to pick a champion quick because I'm going to lose my top laners. And sure enough, there's Rumble.
Yeah, and it's like they know exactly what they're going to ban. They also know exactly what they're going to pick. Both teams know that though they're predictable, that makes the next steps predictable. And so it's kind of just like they're playing out this stuff that they already know, this dance. They're just going through the motions here.
And we see Varus being picked up. Cutie Pie is going to be on that one, and it's going to be Jungle Nasus. Well, it could be Jungle Nasus. We have seen a few top lane Nasus, of course, from Hotshot GG, so we'll see whether Kiwi Kid does take that, or I'm expecting it's going to be Crumbs. So, Marn taking their picks, Claky D and Echo right now. What are we thinking here?
Yeah, they have a little glint in his eye. Looks like they might have something up their sleeves. Claky calling out some options here. Echo feels pretty good about it. I don't know. The Varus is always really interesting to go up against because of that burst that I talked about. He has a lot of magic damage, and he has so many different build paths. We've seen mostly Infinity Edge starts from all these Varuses, but you can always switch it up and go with that Blade of the Ruined King. I guess that's more of a solo lane or a solo ranked Q build that people go with.
Well, we see the conceit. Caitlyn has been locked in, and there's Janna once again. So that glint in their eye is a case of, we're going to do the same as we did before. It seemed to work.
Yeah, maybe they were like, wow, that was a really good Janna from Heartbeat. I was surprised, maybe even a team was surprised. You just go back right on that. That worked out really well. And now it's going to be comboed with a Caitlyn. If you shield up a Caitlyn, those headshots just hit really hard. And that actually is a lot of surprising bursts, too, that people don't expect.
Ooh, could we see?
This is just some
Dignitas. I mean, Skara is not just going to come out with.
I hope so. This would
be nice to.
This would be really interesting if they went with a double assassin, but not going to happen.
It's going to be Shen being locked in, so that's the top laner sorted out, and Elise locked in as well. So this could be a mid lane Elise right here.
It definitely could be a mid lane Elise. See, this Nasus, Shen, and Elise are all very flexible champions, and Dignitas are such a flexible team. They practice a lot of different champions for their lanes. They could put any of these champions on any of their solo lanes / jungler and move them all around. They are so flexible. Even though this is the 4th matchup of these teams, Marn really can't predict what Dignitas' plan early game is going to be, so it'll be hard for them to formulate a plan to counter it.
Well, Wukong currently hovered over by Heartbeat. We'll see whether they go with that one in the top lane. I don't think they will. Is it going to be Jace? We did just see Zion Spartan playing a great Jace. Taric also hovered over currently, which I don't think is going to get selected. They've already gone for the support. Could be Jungle Taric. You never know.
I was going to say, this is also on that patch where he recently got the nerfs to his.
Yeah.
The buffs initially that made him really good solo and jungle. Now, Trundle. Okay, this is obviously a poke comp here. They've got the Janna Caitlyn. Jace is amazing in poke comps. He's got Acceleration Gate, plus he's got the Shock Blast. And then Trundle. That's the crux of any poke comp. If you have him on your team, you can almost constantly keep up a pillar. If you get enough cooldown reduction, you just keep on spamming that. You change the terrain of the entire game, and you get so much slow and so much zoning potential that it just creates so many more options for the rest of your team to either engage or disengage. Then Rumble, he really fits with anything because he's got such long range on that ultimate, and it slows as well.
Well, they've got such long range on the pillar. They just place it down. You're all slowed. Everybody hit this target. It's pretty much creating a straight funnel for them. Final choice, though, for Dignitas. Another reset and another reset. Is it going to come out here? Will it be Katarina?
A lot of people would like to see Scar's
Zed.
Katarina, but they're not going to see it. Double ninjas here. This is a really interesting support Elise. Patoy played very well on his support Elise.
Yes.
The first time he pulled it out, he landed maybe 90% of the cocoons. We're going to have to keep track of that stat. I'd like to see that one because that would be an interesting one to pull up. He definitely played Elise as an assassin in the late game because he was able to get so far ahead in his duo lane that he could single-handedly zone the other team's AD. That game just rolled out of control, so Marn are going to have to be very careful of this bottom lane because there's actually 2 threats in it. Excuse me.
Well, you remember, obviously, all these players, they're looking towards the All-Star vote that's going to be happening, and everyone wants to be playing in that performance, and Patoy definitely, as one of the supports, will be trying to make a name for himself because he's been playing fantastically well in the North American scene, as well as the rest of Dignitas. You could even look at Mega Zero on that top lane. He's played fantastically well for Marn so far. So, who will it go towards? That's the question. Marn versus Dignitas. Can Marn upset the apple cart and take down Dignitas? What are you seeing with his peak poke comps? Do you think the poke is enough?
I like how they saw the poke. Dignitas saw the poke comp develop, and after they lock in a Trundle, it's obviously going to be a poke comp. Scar grabbed a Zed who can 100% burst anyone who's squishy. So if he's able to get in there and grab on one of these key members, the Jace and the Caitlyn are very key to take out in this comp. If you take out either of them, the whole comp will crumble. And Zed is really an adept assassin, especially if you can have Shen ult him on him after he gets in there with his ultimate popped off. Then he could stay in and just do a lot of AoE damage as an AD assassin.
So we are about to get things underway. The blue team, it is going to be Marn, and the red team will be Dignitas. This is the third game of Super Sunday, or Easter Sunday. I think it's safe to call it, because that's actually what it's called worldwide, I believe. So, Marn chasing victory. Can they catch fifth place Vulcan, I should say, or even fourth place CLG? You know, that's what the Intonso said he had his sights on, so why not go for the Echo? Seem to want to get there as well. As it is, Dignitas, well, they want to get that first place. They don't want to give up second place as well, because TSM are nipping at their heels.
And Dignitas actually have a couple of options with how they want to deal with the poke comp. They've got a split pushing Shen, so they can force other lanes to push on the side while they make use of that Stand United, but they also have some hard engages with it when their flashes are up. Hard engage is exactly what you have to do to take out a poke comp, and so they're really going to have to spread out their flashes, because they're going to need one of those stuns or those the taunts to land to be able to catch one of the Marn members. There's that, or you can either split them up. Dignitas have been known to just stay in the laning phase all game long and shove all three lanes all the way to their opponent's base.
Every time I see a close-up of Cutie Pie, I just think of Tom Araya from Slayer. I think he's just stepped straight out of a metal band the way he's set up to go. But as it is, he is here in Dignitas, and Scar, the man in the middle, laying down the law, it seems. There's obviously a problem. It looks like it's Cutie Pie with the issue right now, talking to the admins, just trying to solve any issue that's there. Seems a little quizzed by it right now.
The decision is, and they're going for it.
They are going for the Nexus right now. This could be the game-winning push. Only 3 members alive for AAA. One turret is down. They're going for the second one right now. Ezreal comes across. They're going to re-engage. They find Svenskeren. The knock-up on everybody. Godbro could be going down. He will fall first, but they're going to answer back onto Shen. Now it's a 4-on-3. Freddy's back as well. The home guard is on. Virtual's going to try to find Svenskeren. Does not let them flip his Q time out before he can flip over his back. But Freddy's going to look for a fight. QR, he's going to find the test. Barrier is on Lulu's shield as well. Svenskeren.
I don't think it causes him problems. It must have started out with maybe a sweaty palm or something, but once you use something like that so much, you feel really awkward if you don't have it there. So, oh yeah, you like
Look at the size of the mouse pad that Kiwi Kid uses. He must have ultra sensitivity right there. That's the tiniest mouse pad, and I'm not sure Odie would be happy because it's not a Dignitas mouse pad, but it is a tiny little mouse pad nonetheless.
Yeah, it definitely looks like a personal one. Some wear and tear on there. He's definitely put in his hours of gaming.
Yeah, it's just he must have it very sensitive settings to have a mouse pad that small. I actually have a pretty small pad like that as well, so it's probably the same sort of thing. But he seems always happy as well. He's one of those happy ones. I think we need a challenge, like a grin off between Kiwi Kid right there smiling away and maybe Wild Turtle coming up later on.
There's so many options now. We have all these really happy players, and they have no reason to be unhappy. So
exactly,
it's definitely they should make their own group. Actually, maybe we can have our all-star team be all of the super happy, smiley kids.
Super smile. I can't even say it. Smiley, happy people. And Yenton, so they're actually grinning. Heartbeat always seems to be a happy person as well, so every time they're on, as I say to both of them, they go glum. Trying to catch our director on the hop right now, but they are setting themselves up, preparing It's a little tricky situation. God, and talking about peripherals, check out that keyboard that Echo is using. Is that a Commodore 64 in there?
You definitely want to bring whatever makes you comfortable. So I like that these guys all have their own flavor, and they bring the little bit of home with them.
A little bit of home. He set up. He's got a. That's a CLG mouse pad he's using, is it not?
A lot of the players on the newer teams are actually grew up as CLG fans, and a lot of them have come up to me and they're like, "You're the reason I started jungling way back in the day," and it makes me feel so old. I'm like this retired geezer that's got bad knees and can't play anymore, so they kicked me over here. I just ramble on about the game all the time.
Is it so you can reminisce now with
Yeah,
Jat?
exactly.
In my day,
Me
back
and
in
Jack,
the jungle.
the old fogies of the league scene.
But as it is, we are just waiting, of course, for this situation to be resolved. It is very much at the start of the game. MRN versus Dignitas. Nothing happened so far in the game. Not even a ward placed as far as I'm aware. Yes, no, one Explorer ward has gone down. I think, oh no, it's not even an Explorer ward. It's just a random ward.
He's got a little bit of early defense coming up here from MRN. The thing to note is that Dignitas always start out with a lot of red elixirs. They are huge fans of the red elixirs. Usually they even start out with 3 of them. Right now they've got 2. Kiwi Kid opting in on that, and Skara always going to get that with Zed. Zed is just so strong with a red elixir. You can surprise so many people. Even though everyone's been playing against Zed, you play against him game after game after game, the damage output when he pops one of those early game is still surprising.
Well, we do see Crumbs reconnecting, so his headset's gone on. Everybody's headset's on. It seems that we will be getting this game underway shortly. He seems pretty much back into his focus, even if he is using a what is it, a hanky or whatever it is that's over there. I can't even. I'm not sure I want to make out what the picture is on that that thing as well.
He's had it for a while, so maybe
like
it's probably just
some
child, some childhood memories there. We'll call it a handkerchief.
Handkerchief would be
hanky
nice.
Sounds a little bit.
Well, I don't
juvenile.
know. Juvenile. Hanky's just the short name for handkerchief. There's nothing juvenile about that.
Maybe it only has those tones.
I'm going to take you to England,
over
take
here
you to Stratford upon Avon, get you to Shakespeare country, and take you through some of our lingo.
Okay, good. I'm glad you'll class me up, you man.
Class you up. I'm not sure about that. There's a lot of slang that I use from England, unfortunately, but it's not quite the Queen's English that we have here, but there is the blue resonating lighting of MRN, and a blue shirt, actually. See, Heartbeat knew he was going to be on the blue side all day, so he color-coded himself. Relevant. They have all these wonderful shirts that they picked up at the start. It's great to see actually uniforms for these teams because, you know, it kind of makes them mark. Everybody knows what the MRN shirt looks like because I think every pro player out in the scene, even everyone in the LCS, actually has a MRN shirt, it seems.
It's huge, actually, and I'm really happy for them because League teams, I was on like CLG and TSM, League made its own really big esports names. Like CLG was a team of just players that played the game, and now it's an esports organization. They're up there competing with the old Evil Genius and all these people that have been in the game for so long. Now League actually have their very own esports teams as we finally jump back into the game. The pause comes off and the wards go down.
And the pings come out, and Patoy
I'm a cutie pie pop this red elixir. Oh, that might have been a misclick.
Yeah, that's like a minute too early right there.
Yeah, the creeps aren't coming out. There was no invade, so that was definitely a misclick by him. Maybe they were trying to work something out there. His mouse might have gone a little
I wonder
wonky.
if that's what the delay was. We didn't actually get to hear it. Maybe that click of that red elixir trying to argue the situation for a restart, and it's like, yeah, you misclicked something. You know, what are we going to do? Who knows?
I called out they usually start with 3. Apparently they did start with 3. They just burned 1 early. That's actually going to hurt him a lot. This early in the game, 250 gold is huge. He won't have that surprise factor. Maybe they'll go aggressive very early in this mid lane, and we'll see him try and make use of it.
It may also mean they were going to go for an invade, and they've had to counter off. We can see at the moment, though, he is sat there. He's going to farm out that mid lane and try and keep 100% CS. We'll see whether he can, because it is going to be the 2 AD carries in that mid lane. Heartbeat's going to peel off. He's going to join the Enton. So Crumbs is going to take his own blue buff. Red buff, of course, went across to Claky D. Mega Zero and Kiwi Kid, they have a little tep for toe, and the red buff also being used by Kiwi Kid.
Yep, those are elixirs. They don't hesitate to pop them. Just got some nice key strikes off on Mega Zero. The other thing I noticed about Dignitas comp is that not only do they have Shen, but they have amazing wave clear. Their jungler is a great wave clear. He's got the Spirit Fire, the AoE. Zed is such a good wave clear. He can get, if he uses his Living Shadow, that's almost an instant wave clear right there. He can shove his lane, he can go roam. So they're really playing the game like Chester said it should be played. It's a game of creep waves and turrets. You shove lanes, you split push, you get the advantages that way. You don't pay as much attention to the champions. Scar down here in bottom lane going up against Echo. It looks like they sort of both switched up to have those supporting ADs in middle.
Yeah, they're going to rotate round. Scara has got the red pot in his bag, hasn't used that one yet. Meanwhile, he's up against a Fairy Charm on an Echo and a couple of mana pots to chug through if he were to need them. Crumbs, meanwhile, he's already got himself the double buff, as has Claky D around that jungle, so both junglers staying pretty much close. Patoy trying to land that cocoon on towards the Enton, and Cutie Pie trying to hammer down on towards him. Does manage to pop that shield that Heartbeat put around him, but not a great deal of damage. Nevertheless, they are staying very even in this mid lane, keeping up with the CS between each other. The bottom lane, it is Scara starting to develop a tiniest of little leads, but the top lane, big gap starting to develop already for Kiwi Kid.
Plus, you can note Patoy already sort of playing his Elise a little bit towards the assassin side. He started with that Doran's ring. That's going to give him extra HP when he does want to fully commit, go in there with a repel and try and execute. Plus, he's got some nice mana regen. He can really exert a lot of pressure on this lane. You can see him trying to zone there, feinting out. When will he throw the cocoon? And Claky coming in for a bush gank here on Scara. There's no ward in the bush, so he was not seen.
He's not going to be spotted. Scara goes aggressive, and that's going to turn him straight around. Does get the Pillar of Filth down, but he's going to get walk away from this one. He won't get taken down by the turret. And instead, I think more damage went back on towards Marn there than Scara took.
Yeah, Claky did not want to dive that. He propped his Ghost already, though, so he wanted to get something out of it. Go take a bite out of Scara.
And look at this Crumbs. He's ready and waiting. He's in the tri-bush. I think they realize, yeah, they pinged the ward down, saying there is a ward here, so you can't come from this way. You need to sneak in around the top, just like Claky D did, and they may try and take a reverse kill on towards him, and Echo may well be in trouble down the bottom there. Instead, he's going to back off. In this top lane, they are evening things up. It must have been a case of simply Kiwi Kid shoving the minions in towards Mega Zero. Mega Zero returning the favor, shoving them back in towards Kiwi Kid. So, equal in farm across all lanes right now. A little bit of poke back and forward between the Entonso and Cutie Pie, and it's a Cutie Pie that comes out on top this time around.
Nice job there by Cutie Pie. You can see he throwed out the hail of arrows to get the slow on Niansan, so it adds 2 more basic attacks, and then the piercing arrow to follow up, so that he does end up proccing those blighted quiver stacks.
Ooh, I told you, man, I'm taking you to Stratford. We're going to get you on English school. We're going to take you to my old English teacher and see how it goes. As it stands, it's probably not the greatest example. Yeah, I'm probably not the greatest example of the world's best English, as it were. You can see Patoy, he's keeping that Q going. That Q will be doing a lot of damage. You can see the Entonso, the Cocoon comes in. Will they try and finish this one? The Repel not going to go in towards aggression, though. And Patoy does back away. They thought about it, though. I think they thought about it, but he had Cleanse and he had Flash if they took the bait.
The muscle memory there from Patoy. He's like, oh, landed a Cleanse, going in for Repel. Wait, that's under a turret? Don't dive that.
Wait a minute. Oh, full length taunt there coming out from Kiwi Kid, but he wasn't quite under the turret. Kiwi Kid continuing to pressure this lane. I'm actually quite interested in this lane because these are 2 very good top laners, Kiwi Kid and Mega Zero.
The super interesting part about that top lane is they didn't have wards. Oh,
Patoy just used the cocoon. He went completely the opposite direction. I think maybe a swing of the mouse going in the right place. Tried to go aggressive in it and instead managed to just go straight towards emptiness.
Yeah, a little too quick there. Claky D coming up, showing a pillar in the back, but doesn't actually do anything here. I mean, Cutie Pie's running low on mana, so they don't have to worry about the burst as much anymore.
Well, hopefully we won't get any pillars drawn on the analysis later on. It is Cutie Pie, meanwhile, keeping the pressure down. He's got no mana, really, so he can't keep poking on towards the Enton, so Patoy is, of course, going to try and help him out. Scara got this lane shoved right up there once again, and actually does have, again, another advantage over Echo. He's just sitting off the side, out of range, actually, out of vision of Echo down that bottom lane to see if he can try and catch anything, as it is at the top lane here. Very even between the 2, but it's the bottom that I'm kind of interested in at the moment. Echo, oh no, tell a lie, the mid lane. There's going to be the Stan United coming out on towards Cutie Pie. Will Cutie Pie manage to get one more shot? No! The Entonso turns it around, gets first blood. Heartbeat now going to get called out. Will the Ignite be enough? One more tick, yes it will. It's a double kill for Crumbs.
Ooh, Cutie Pie going so deep right there. He actually does go down first. Good job by Niantanso, turning around, getting that last shot off before he goes down, so at least they get the first blood out of it. But now, Mega Zero has free time in the top lane. He's shoving that, and they're actually missing out on a lot of minions, trying to send Crumbs up there to go clean that.
So everybody goes back, and now we do see a red pot being picked up once again by Cutie Pie. Claky D just forcing Kiwi Kid away from that one, but Kiwi Kid with that double kill, he's going to be happy. Spirit Fire from Crumbs, that's going to clear that wave out and keep that turret safe and sound. While meanwhile down this bottom lane, Skara continuing with the CS advantage over Echo. Nearly built up a 20 CS lead there now.
Yeah, Dignitas got a little bit of gold lead, but the Shen ulti is down, so that's one cooldown that MRN don't have to worry about anymore. And Mega Zero did get some nice alone time up in that top lane, farming that out nice. He's got a Doran shield on top of the early magic penetration that Kiwi Kid had tried to counter with his no magic mana.
Well, Patoy just off the side here, maybe going to go in towards Heartbeat. Yes, he does. Lands the cocoon, goes full on aggression, and look at that. Shreds half the hit points off Heartbeat. We did see before, I think it was against Hotshot GG, the pure power that Patoy could put out on that Elise. Elise, very strong champion, even without too many items, it seems. Hasn't really put a lot of damage down. Echo, though, shoving that lane. Definitely got caught up a bit of that CS. Skara comes back, wipes out the waves as he goes back to bite. Got himself that Vampiric Scepter. And again, the poke comes back out. Now Skara definitely forced to go back.
Cutie Pie picked up another red elixir too. He was really sad about the first one, drinking that too early, so he's got another one in his back pocket now. Next time he goes extremely aggressive, he will have that answer, and both of them with BF swords going straight damage in the short mid lane. You don't need boots.
It seems to me, though, the problem is we saw there the Stand United came out from Kiwi Kid. There's nothing Mega Zero could do to prevent Kiwi Kid going.
That's a problem with having that Rumble up in the top lane, going one versus one with him and not taking a teleport or anything. Mega Zero did that last time. He goes Rumble, he feels really confident. If he does get behind in that lane at all, then the global pressure of Kiwi Kid is going to win out some global objectives for them. He's doing really good this time, though, so he's holding his own. Cutie Pie takes an ace to the hole.
Ace to the hole, it was. He was backing away, that's fair, but Cutie Pie does manage to survive that one. And as it stands, you can see he's going to keep the poke going. So Skara looking round in towards the tri-bush, and maybe going up the top fade. Get a hold of yourself, man. Yeah, maybe going for an invade in towards the mid lane right now. He is going to get pinged out, though, and it's going to be the jungle. The dragon started out.
Crumbs using his ultimate to burn down this dragon really quickly. I like that play because he's not looking for those early game ganks, and it really just burns down the dragon so fast. It does 3% of the maximum HP, which is capped at 240 damage per second. And it really just burns that thing down so fast. You can see there, as soon as a Nasus hits 6, you can always watch out for those early dragons.
So 1,000 gold lead being built up by Dignitas over MRN. Oh, didn't quite land Patoy this time. Just get back away. Claky D tries to put the Pillar of Filth down once again. Again, they push away from this one. 3-man stacking towards this mid lane turret, trying to get some damage down. Crumbs just coming around the side there. The repel comes out. Varus manages to fire his ultimate. Cutie Pie does land it, but immediately you can see the monsoon from Heartbeat. Heartbeat's going to get focused on. Meanwhile, Kiwi Kid with that Stand United, he's going to try and get on towards Niantanso. That's going to be Heartbeat going down. Niantanso, he's going to get the Shadow Dash one more time. Niantanso will. No! Good trap. And Piltover, sorry, the 90 caliber net to get away from that one, and all of that has bought time for Mega Zero to take down the top turret.
So he finally does answer. Good job by Mega Zero shoving his lanes. People should not be CSing when they leave.
Skara's going to get dived on Echo, but now he can see trouble. The Wither comes down. Crumbs is going to come in. One more Q hit on the tower and takes him down. Nicely baited out there from Skara.
You can see Skara actually kind of wanted to go in to steal that last hit, but a good job by him not getting too greedy, and he stays back, doesn't let Echo answer with a kill. Something I want to note about all these Shen ganks that Dignitas are pulling off, Shen is ulting on someone who has his flash up, and every time the member of Dignitas that's getting Shen ulted flashes forward, so Shen also gains that distance, and he's able to get off some really nice taunts.
So what are we seeing here? Skara going for Blade of the Rune King by the looks of it to me. Not too sure. What's he going to build up there?
Yeah, that's going to be the Blade of the Rune King for Scar. Are you talking about?
Yep.
Yeah, so that's the new build path for it. The Combine cost is really large. It's 1,000, but that is still the item that you want to rush on Zed, because Zed's ultimate takes item damage into account as well. So basically you get the double the effect of the active. You usually want to pop your ultimate first and then use the active on your Blade of the Ruined King. Does a lot of damage, and that's really Zed's go-to combo for bursting down a single champion.
So let's have a look at the AD carries. Cutie now has got that Bloodthirster completed. Bloodthirster almost completed by Nientonso, but he went for the Berserker Greaves first instead to just get that extra bit of movement over them, and of course building up towards that poke comp that they're going to have later on. He's very worried, I think, about the Varus ulti, which he's already seen land on him twice, and he has tried to avoid it this time. Kiwi Kid, that Stand United, he has been used so successfully so far, twice already, but they did lose the tower from it, and that does keep Marn going. You can see Pillar of Filth put down on Crumbs there. 2 wards actually placed out, 1 pink, and that's going to be a nice pickup for Claky D.
I like the aggressiveness from Kiwi. Using the ultimate on cooldown for Shen makes you feel good. Oh, there we go, the ultimate from Cutie Pie.
They're going to go in towards Heartbeat this time. I don't think they can finish it off. You've seen Nientonso getting caught out. He's turning the aggression round. He's keeping on Cutie Pie, and now Heartbeat steps back in. Very ballsy play there from Marn. The ace in the hole comes out, lands on towards Patoy this time.
So he takes that one, not really necessary, but he's keeping his AD carry with more life. The support now going to play a little bit farther back.
Oh, the Cocoon.
Nice Cocoon.
Nice Cocoon. Very, very nice Cocoon, but can they turn it around? Cutie Pie this time on towards the Nientonso. Oh, great back off there. Megazero, meanwhile, takes down Kiwi Kid, and it was the Monsoon coming out from Heartbeat. Absolutely playing a brilliant Janet. He should have done this further.
Yeah, he definitely should have been using that a lot. The bottom lane going to take a lot of punishment right now. Flaky going to try and clear it out, but he cannot. Scar is continuing to be on that turret. They have to back off because the Wither taking effect is not going to keep Echo off that turret. I just want to say, that top lane kill, Kiwi Kid was not worried about laning versus Mega Zero. You can see he went with the team-oriented build of rushing the Aegis of the Legion. He didn't build specific defense for Mega Zero. He got no Giant Spell or something, and he had paid for it right there with his life.
He's rushed that Runic Bulwark. He's got it completed now. I wonder if that's simply a case of because he had those 2 Stand Uniteds, got that 2-0-1 early on. It's just a case of, okay, I'll take the hit, I'll build the Runic Bulwark.
Yeah, and he started with that early No Magic Mantle, so that builds right into an Aegis of the Legion, but not completing any extra health on top of that means that Mega Zero going full penetration with both the Haunting Guys and the Boots. Got the advantage there, going extremely aggressive. That is going to be a huge bonus to their team fighting ability, though. When Kiwi Kid is by the rest of the team, everybody's going to get the benefit of the upgraded Bulwark.
The big benefits I'm seeing is Skara stretching ahead of Echo, and that's maybe a worry for them. Mega Zero's trying to keep up, like you said, he's ahead of Kiwi Kid in terms of farm, but not in terms of gold. You can see very much even between the two there, but it is actually very big lead starting to develop there. Nearly 1,000 gold picked up by Skara ahead of Echo, and that's going to be a problem, but the fact is Echo doesn't plan to be in the fight. He doesn't plan to be in their face. He just wants to use that Shock Blast from range.
Yeah, he's going to be shooting from the back. We're going to see a really big team. Here he goes in on Echo.
Deathmark goes down. Echo's going to try and keep him away from this one, but there's not a great deal he can do. The shield is going to go out. The acceleration gate, he has got away from this one. I have no idea how he managed to survive that.
So that was Scar trying to use the full combo. He just completed that Blade of the Ruined King, and he wanted to go all out. Wasn't able to burst him down 100%, but the Dragon's up in 30 seconds. So Dignitas are still going to look to pressure that. They'll probably take another one. Crumbs has his ultimate up, so he's actually up by the top side of the map right now, so they won't be getting it right when it spawns.
Skara does take down the turret, and that's the first one for Dignitas, and you can see they're pressuring in towards the mid turret. Nientonso is back though, and he's going to clear out that wave. The shield going down just to give that little bit of protection, but we've seen Cutie Pie, he's happy to take a couple of tower hits before. Crumbs meanwhile in the top river, let's see where he's going to go. Is he going to go straight down towards the mid? No, he's been called to the Dragon.
So they are going for the Dragon, even though Crumbs was up at top lane, like I said. They took that turret down bottom lane, and they felt like that gave them enough of the advantage. They're going to go for here with no smite. Janna tries to steal it, but too much damage. Zed's passive is actually really good against Dragon as well.
Yeah, Crumbs was holding off Nientonso in that mid lane, so they realized that there's not a great deal of danger on the Dragon, and that of course does take them to a 2,000 gold lead, 4-2 open kills, equal in turrets, and now Mega Zero suddenly comes down towards the mid lane and heads back north.
A lot of key items actually competed right now for Dignitas. The Bulwark plus the Locket completed on 2 different tanky champions. So they have the full team fighting defensive AoE aura items. They're fully ready to go with a 5-on-5. Scar's got his main item with that Blade of the Ruined King, and Cutie Pie has finished his Bloodthirster. So they're feeling pretty good right now. Clayky actually going in with the pillar.
There's the Howling Gale, rattles across, but Stan United comes around. They're going to try and turn it around on towards Heartbeat. Heartbeat seems to be the focus. They will get him down. Monsoon is not going to be enough, but the snipe comes out. He gets blocked. Cutie Pie still taking low, tries to get the volley of arrows, tries to slow down Clayky D. Meanwhile, in the backside, they do dive on, and it's another double kill from Kiwi Kid. Oh, the equalizer snipe comes out from Mega Zero. Does manage to turn it round into a 3-for-1, but it does mean that mid turret is going to go down.
Cutie Pie, just his celebration got cut short there by Mega Zero. Then they dive in on Echo.
They dive in, it's a shadow dash on towards Echo. They're still taking the turret damage now. They try and get on towards Mega Zero. It's not going to be enough, and the turret will eventually go down. Skara actually still waiting in the wings. He was taken so low from this one. Mega Zero, he's not letting them back off.
Yeah, Dignitas, like I said, they were really happy to fight right now because they had just completed everything. While if we take a look at Marn's team, they're kind of spread out right now. I mean, they have that locket, but look, their AD carry, Intanso, is going for the Infinity Edge build. And when that's completed, he gets a huge burst in power, but Dignitas forced the fight right before he could finish it, so they take advantage of that small gap. Like he said, Echo falling sort of behind, so he couldn't really add very much to that fight.
Yeah, he was kind of away from it as well. And the moment that Stan United came in, they must have realized it was going to be a bait. And, well, Heartbeat kind of took it hook, line, and sinker. They are 4,000 gold behind now, but Marn going to try and pressure in towards this mid lane. As it stands, though, Army Cutie Pie, he's still there, and he's not going to let his turret go down.
Cutie Pie has been quoted as saying he will never let a turret go down in his lane if he's alive there. So he'll stand at it, and he'll defend that thing 1 versus 3. He takes another ace in the hole to the head.
Marn continue though, pressure up, there's the cocoon on Clayky D, and they should be able to defend this one off. They have got 3 members there now. Of course, Stan United not available just yet from Kiwi Kid. Patoy stands on that trap, quite happy to take it. Can't send the Spiderlings into those things, unfortunately, but he will keep sending the explosive, and look at the damage he's starting to put down on Heartbeat now. He's gone for the Haunting Guise as support.
Yeah, like I said, he goes very aggressive. He plays the support Elise as a semi-assassin, and he makes use of both of her spider and human form spells.
Dignitas have that gold lead, 4,000 as we mentioned. Kiwi Kid though is being pressured once again by Mega Zero in this top lane. He hasn't got a turret to run to, and that Flame Spitter and the Harpoon, there's the equalizer, flashes away from it, but the Flame Spitter is going to be enough. Kiwi Kid will go down here. There's nothing he can do about this one. Tries to shadow dash away, but Mega Zero picks up another straight 1v1.
So Kiwi Kid's going to good job of helping out his team. He's gone a team build, and he's used his Stan United pretty much on cooldown to get kills, but Mega Zero has been farming. He's playing the solo game, and anytime he catches Kiwi, he comes out with another kill.
However, he is 3-0-0, and Kiwi is 4-2-2, because every time he's used that Stan United, he does pick up 2 kills. Scarlet just coming away from that one, seeing if he could try and create any advantages. Nothing was there to be picked up though, and they head towards blue buff. They're going to give blue buff across to Skara, I guess.
Cooldown reduction and energy regen actually also really important for Shen. He can just spam his abilities for a lot of damage. There are a lot of AoE as well, so he can get right in the middle of that team fight if Shen pops his ultimate on top of Skara.
Yeah, as it is, Nintonso. With that red buff going in the Wolves, he's going to keep his farm going. Actually has developed a bit of a lead over Cutie Pie, of course. 206 to 177, and that Infinity Edge will be up very, very soon. In fact, he's probably almost got the combined cost. He just hasn't gone back to simply buy it yet. There it is, yeah, you can see he's got 1,500, way more than the combined cost required. Probably going to save up for the Zeal at the same time.
That would be a pretty good purchase. It's actually really beneficial to get extra crit after you finish that Infinity Edge. Obviously, you want to stack as much as you can. At that point, crit and attack speed are really the most efficient damage dealing increases.
Well, the top lane's been left exposed here. There's 3 members getting it, and Cutie Pie and Skara going to take that down very quickly. Well, Equalize was used to try and keep them off that one, but Mega Zero wasn't there in time. They're going to go aggressive though. They're going to go straight in towards Skara, but Skara turns it around. The death mark on towards Mega Zero. Everything on towards Mega Zero, but he's got away from it. Uses the shield. Will he be able to avoid it? Patoy's jumped towards him. Cutie Pie does take down Clayky D as well. There's Patoy. He's managed to get Mega Zero down. A great shadow dash from Kiwi Kid. Catches 2 members of Marn. It's a double kill, and there is a double kill for Patoy, and that is showing the aggressive support that he plays. Does have a lot of power. They're turning to Baron here.
There's that Shen ultimate on top of Skara that I was talking about, and Crumbs comes in with the ghost from behind, so no one's able to get out. Mega Zero thought he had escaped with his life, but not that soon. There's the Nasus ultimate for taking down Baron. Just as it's good for taking down Dragon, works as well on Baron Nashor.
Well, fantastic play from Dignitas. Just like that, they're in the position at the right time. A 7,000 gold lead. That's going to stretch to an 8,000 gold lead almost there as the Baron drops, and a 3-1 turret advantage. Big advantage for the number 2 team currently in the LCS, Dignitas. And big smile on Cutie Pie's face right now. His 327 is going to be able to go back and buy himself some property in Los Angeles.
Crumbs right now feeling pretty confident. He's got a whole bunch of assists on top of his 1 kill, and he's also had a decent amount of time to farm up that siphoning strike. It's at 153 extra damage stacked on top of it right now, so he's hitting fairly hard.
Phantom Dancer was picked up by Cutie Pie, as well as a Giant's Belt. Last Whisper, of course, you just mentioned, Scar has got that 4-2-6 now from Kiwi Kid. As you mentioned, just played like the perfect support role as Shen, really. You know, every time he's come in, he's landed that Shadow Dash and picked himself up either a kill or a bunch of assists there. And it seems to be working so well. They seem to have that team synergy worked very well, Dignitas. Every pick they make seems to just work. Like you mentioned at the start, they have multiple members that can play multiple roles.
And I like how Scar's is going full out damage here. You can see flat penetration from the Brutalizer, plus the percentage penetration from that last Whisper. He is going to be hitting like a truck right now. Anyone who he puts a death mark on is going to have a hard time staying alive.
Oh, they're diving on towards Patoy there. They do manage to get him down. The Equalizer drops. He's repelled, but he's just going to drop straight back on them. He can't get out of this one. He does get taken down. Halingale comes out, but Claky D now taken down. Cutie Pie's going to go towards Claky D. One more shot. Is it going to be enough? No. Monsoon saves him from Heartbeat once again.
There we have 2 people split pushing for Dignitas, though. Like I said, Zed, amazing wave clear, and look how much damage he's doing to the turrets now. Shen up top doing the same thing, but they're going to take the middle.
They're going to take the middle. And the Enton, so they go towards Cutie Pie. Can they keep him down? Yes, they can. The Flame Spitter comes out there. Scarra has taken the bottom turret, but his team is melting before his eyes as Crumbs gets taken down at the inner turret. He's continued pushing on, though. He's on towards the inhibitor turret. ClayQD did back off and had to defend them there.
Dignitas, 3 people have died now for this 2-man split push. Looks like it was the wrong call. He's going to put some damage onto Claky, though. He's diving in. There's the Shen ultimate.
Their death mark is surely going to be enough to finish him off. Kiwi Kid in there as well. They can keep the pressure on towards the inhibitor turret. They're not backing off. They're pushing on towards the inner turret themselves. And you can see, oh, Kiwi Kid's gone towards Mega Zero. The Ignite goes down. Have they got enough to finish him off? I'm not too sure whether they have. Oh. Yes, they can. And that's going to be another kill. It's Kiwi Kid that picked it up. They're still continuing on this inhibitor. Meanwhile, Patoy, he's keeping them busy in the mid lane. He's not letting them back off. Zed does take it down. It's Scarra. Now they're on the inhibitor. Dignitas turning this one round. Ace in the hole comes out from the Enton, so he's backed off, but the inhibitor is down. Oh, Shadow Dash! They've gone on towards him. The Enton, so has to cleanse and flash away from it.
Was the right call in the end for Dignitas. They actually end up getting an inhibitor out of that. They did lose a lot of Baron buffs, though. 3 members going down with it on. They'll take that trade, though. A few kills, no problem. Inhibitor breached.
Will they set a trap here? Scarra wants more by the looks of it. They have that Baron, remember, of course, and you can see Patoy's just off the side. Can they catch anyone out? Oh, Heartbeat. Oh, the Shadow Dash from Kiwi Kid doesn't quite catch him. Will Scarra go aggressive? No, he won't. And all of Dignitas hiding in and around that brush. Dragon's being taken away by Crumbs as well, so they're taking everything away. There's the repel from Patoy. He comes around and helps out Crumbs.
That was really just a case of Scarra being so strong right now and building full damage and relying on the Stand United from Shen for the defense that he needs.
Making plays. He's still down that bottom lane. He may get caught out this time because Mana all moving towards his position. Claky D tries to speed himself up, get in there. He's going to have a Galliant-looking Echo coming around the side there. There's going to be the Harpoon. He knows he's going down, tries to take Mega Zero with him. The death mark's not going to be enough, and he does survive that one. He does pay for it with his life. Can they make anything from it?
Stays a little too long split pushing after they'd already gotten that inhibitor down the bottom lane. Cutie Pie going to farm up this top, though. They're keeping pressure all around the map. Even though they've lost Scarra, they won't pay for it with any other global objectives.
So, let's have a look. Let's take stock of the situation and see how things are developing. 5-2-7 now for Kiwi Kid. Oh, Echo, what are you doing, man? I'm trying to go pressure on Crumbs here, but the rest of the team, remember, he's got to remember, actually Stand United is not up. So, I'm not going to question him on that one. They're going to know better than I am. Mega Zero also. I'm a Cutie Pie very much out of position. Patoy also trying to push down that mid lane. He's going to keep caught out, and Echo comes back in there, forces him away from there. The top lane was trying to be pushed, sorry, bottom lane was trying to be pushed there, but Kiwi Kid has stopped that, he tried to get the Shadow Dash on towards the bush just as they backed off there.
So Marn do end up getting a goal objective out of that. They shoved hard into the super minion wave lane and actually get the outer bottom turret. That's all outer bottom turrets down for them, at least. A small ray of hope opening up, but Dignitas still with a very commanding lead.
So let's look. Finally, but if everything starts to settle down, we can look at the items. Just look at Scar. Look how strong he is right now. Blade of the Rune King, Black Cleaver, Last Whisper, and Boots of Mobility. He's going to be steaming around that map.
He's just farming up the entire map. Like I said, Zed's so much wave clear, so he can shove waves, he can clear the jungle, he can go back into the lane, continue shoving, and then when someone comes to stop him, he can kill that person, maybe even get out if it's more than a 2-on-3, 2-on-1. He'll take those odds.
Well, if it's a 2-on-1, in comes Kiwi Kid.
That's what I'm talking about. 2-on-3.
Another kill. Yeah, they just
the Shen coming in. Ninjas always got each other's backs.
Multiple ninjas coming from every angle. And Patoi, he continues to build himself very strongly. He finally has got that Ruby Sightstone on there now. So he's got the awesome support items along with potentially. Is he going to Rylers there? Is he going to go for a Rylers? Patoi.
Patoi, yeah, I mean, that's what his Giant's Belt would probably go into. Neonton's not going to take a lot of damage. He just flash it.
Yeah, Deathmark comes in, though. That's going to be caught out. Skara does get catch out. So there's going to be a straight Shadow Dash. Mega Zero might be able to take Skara. Is there going to be enough damage? No. He's overheated, and Kiwi Kid going to try and pursue this one, but Heartbeat is with him. Now Patoi, he's just off towards the side there. Crumbs has been caught out. He's in the middle there. Echo and Claky D on towards him. Can they try and pin him down? Claky D's trying to ghost and run away from this one. They're still stuck around that blue buff, though, and they've managed to hold off. And Dignitas, they're still a problem in that top lane.
Well, Crumbs doing his best Claky D impersonation. Not quite in this game, but Crumbs did use his ghost getting out of that one. Or no, he didn't. He didn't even have to use his ghost.
No, he just strolled away like a big dog.
So Claky and Crumbs both out their ghost up.
Yep, nobody's going for it. Oh, Skara taking a shock blast, but the turret goes down once again, as well as the turret in the mid. Dignitas taking every single advantage, just in time for Baronborn.
Baron's gonna say, Baronborn! They're gonna burn this down really quickly because there's so much damage. They have the percentage damage from Elise, Scar, then a Beast all game. They're burning it down so fast, they're going to get this uncontested.
Uncontested, but they are going to turn around and try and get on towards Marn. You can see the flash from Patoi. He does manage to land the cocoon on towards Heartbeat. He's going to get dropped. Monsoon's not going to save him. Sonya's Hourglass was randomly used. I thought I saw it now. I wasn't quite sure who it was. It can't be because nobody's going on the map. Claky D, though, has got the death mark on him from Skara. You can see Nienton's off the side. He's doing what he can to try and prevent the death spree that is happening, but it's a massacre so far. Dignitas starting to turn and burn on this one.
Skara's damage is just out of control at this point. Crumbs also trying to add some in there. His Siphoning Strike up to 173 level 2 right now.
I'm still absolutely flabbergasted as to what I saw. I absolutely swear I saw it on his Hourglass. Never mind, it's Echo. He's caught. That's going to be a cocoon. That's a dead Echo. And every time it lands, and you talked about the accuracy that he has with those cocoons, it does mean it's going to be a dead member of Marn. The base is being destroyed. Remember, the bottom inhibitor was exposed earlier on. The Shadow Dash goes on towards the Nienton. So the shield from Heartbeat, they're trying to keep him away. Throwing out the Howling Gales, doing everything he can to try and prevent them from doing damage on towards the Nienton. So that Phantom Dancer and Infinity Edge, it will do damage, but not enough against this Dignitas team. They are just have so much power as the third inhibitor of the game goes down, and Dignitas are going to push in on towards the Nexus turret. I don't think Marn can even prevent this one, so it will be yet another victory for Dignitas here against Marn. That will take them to 4-0. The equalizer comes out. Have they got enough to one last stand from Marn as they push in? Cutie Pie, though, the shield comes out. Claky D, everything is being thrown at Cutie Pie, but he just turns around, and Skara's melting them in the back lane. Patoi finally does get dropped, but it's a double kill for Skara. Can they get on towards Claky D? They did manage to get Patoi down. It doesn't matter. Skara's chasing this one out. He wants the triple kill. He cares about his KDA. That's what he wants. Echo on towards the fountain. Everybody trying to get the snipe. They want that KDA up. It doesn't matter. The Nexus turret goes down, and Dignitas pick themselves up another win for this weekend, taking them 4-0 over Marn.
Another convincing win from Dignitas, undefeated against Marn. That's their final matchup. There's no more chances for Marn to pull a game off Dignitas.
Well, Marn, they're going to be disappointed with that one because for a while they were definitely in it, but it was really just a couple of moves from Dignitas that turned things around. Brilliant play from Skara to just keep on shoving down that bottom lane. I thought Marn had caught them out. I didn't think Skara could put that down that much damage, but he clearly knew he'd got the items. And Kiwi Kid just held out long enough. The moment Marn went back, he was down there, they took that inhib. Kind of opened the game up, really.
Marn did a great job of chaining kills in that mid lane as they were